because we each have a superpower. Welcome to CSLDallas, the Center for Spiritual Living. I'm Reverend Karen, and my superpower is my prosperity consciousness. Oh my gosh, I live an abundant life thanks to the teaching and practicing of the science of mind. I know that this universe is abundant. So the reason why we're together as a community is we are radically inclusive, spiritually progressive, and transforming lives because of this community and the science of mind teaching. So welcome if this is your first time to be with us at a Sunday celebration. Big shout out to everyone who's been with us for a while, and we are grateful that you're with us today because we got a fantastic special guest speaker. So buckle up, but in the meantime, sink in and enjoy this song.
In this moment, God is all there is. In this moment, God is all there is. In this moment, God is all there is. I claim it to be so, and so it is. In this moment, in this moment, God is all there is. In this moment, God is all there is. In this moment, God is all there is. I claim it to be so, and so it is. In this body, in this body, God is all there is. In this body, God is all there is. In this body, God is all there is. I claim it to be so, and so it is.
And so join me now as we go within, into that infinite presence. God, Spirit, love, life, the force, the infinite, is all there is. One infinite power and presence, one infinite love, one infinite joy, one infinite abundance that is moving in, through, and as all of creation. All of creation is exploding as the glory of the divine made manifest. And that truth is true right here, where I am, where you are, where each one of us is, where each one of us lives, in this body, in this life, in our lives. Spirit is all there is. Love is all there is. And so this morning, as we affirm this truth, as we claim it as the truth of our being, we release any circumstances or conditions from our consciousness that appear otherwise. We release fear and worry. We release the need to figure anything out, for we know that the infinite power and presence of love itself knows. We rest in the divine intelligence. We allow Spirit to lift and carry us through, because we know right here, in this moment, Spirit is all there is. God is fully present. So in this moment, as we claim our abundance, as we claim good for ourselves and for others and for the entire world, we know that in this moment, knowing this truth calls that abundance forth. Lives are lifted. Circumstances change. Truth is revealed. And a whole new impulse of abundance for the entire planet, for our whole nation, for all people, is outpictured, just as it is in our own lives. In this moment, Spirit is all there is. I trust in that. I relax into it. I've deep and profound faith that as I have spoken, It is already done. It is the Father's good pleasure. It is the Mother's good pleasure. It is Spirit's good pleasure to give us the kingdom. And today, we accept it as the truth of this moment. In gratitude, we know it's so, and so it is.
This moment, God is all there is. In this moment, God is all there is. In this moment, God is all there is. I claim it to be so, and so it is. I speak this word, I speak this truth, I speak my word for myself and for you, and I rejoice, for God is my voice, God is the source of my song. In this moment, God is all there is. In this moment, God is all there is. In this moment, God is all there is. I claim it to be so, and so it is. I claim it to be so, and so it is. I claim it to be so, and so it is.
Welcome to Adventures in Spirits, AIS 2021 campaign. Zoom to Prosperity. Be your superpower. We are the co-chairs, Michael Brundy and
Leah Glazer.
on behalf of the staff, the ministers of AIS committee, we want to tell you how grateful we are for you. CSL Dallas is strengthened and enriched by your consciousness, especially during these times when we are physically apart. We are here today to talk about our plan for increasing the prosperity of this beautiful community and for you personally. We are also going to share our 2021 vision for next year's program, celebrations, and services at CSL Dallas. The AIS committee is made up of a dozen CSL Dallas members. The cornerstone of our work is praying every week for 10 weeks as a group and individually for your abundance. This is because we understand and use the laws that govern prosperity. Our abundance is intertwined, and as you grow in prosperity, so do we as a community. As each of us pledges financial support to this place, where we are spiritually fed, then we establish and confirm our own solid belief that we are creating the prosperity required to fulfill that pledge.
So last week, Michael gave you an overview of the 6 priorities that CSL Dallas has for the 2021 year. And this year, I want to talk to you about our highest priority, which is thinking outside the box. Many of you have seen, you've joined us for the first time during this weird and wonderful period of time, and you've seen what CSL Dallas has done and the incredible way that they have shown up for this community and created all sorts of new offerings as well. Thinking outside the box in 2021 means that we will continue with our innovative, responsive, and open way of understanding what is being called for in our post-COVID world. We'll be piloting new ways of being together and of providing inspirational messages and courses. So stay tuned for that.
During this time, we have an open conversation with our community. We ask people to pledge, and we ask them to commit. This gives us the foundation from which our leadership budgets. Our promise is that if you tell us what you're going to give us, we will not budget beyond that. Now, having served on the core council, I can tell you that this is true. We only spend what we are given. And let me tell you, too, all the information that Leah and I are sharing with you, you can also find on CSL Dallas CSLDallas.org, and you'll see all that information that we have in this brochure. You'll see it online. It shares with you our priorities, it answers any kind of questions, and gives you all the information that you'd want to know about the AIS campaign. And you can also pledge online, or you can use the pledge card that Leah has right there to pledge. So Leah, tell us about the goals.
So you may be wondering, how much should I pledge? And I tell you from my own personal experience that I choose to pledge to the place where it starts to pinch. I pledge to that place where I am stretched, because that is where I grow. And when I started doing that, that is when I saw my prosperity take off and my consciousness expand. So for 2021, our financial goal is $947,000 and 250 pledgers and more. Now, we usually like to say this together. We say it 3 times. Michael and I will be here. I encourage you at home to do the same thing with us. So, Michael, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
So our goal for 2021, $947,000 and 250 pledges and more. Our goal for 2021, $947,000 and 250 pledges and more. And one more time, say it loud with us. $947,000 and 250 pledges and more. And you can become one of those pledges at CSLDallas.org/pledge, or again, you can use the donation card that was mailed to you. And now we would like to hear a testimonial.
Hi, I'm Sherry Wood, and this is my beloved wife, Christine Bogmer. When Christine and I first walked through the doors of CSL Dallas over 17 plus years ago, we were in a state of what I like to call terrified of tithing syndrome. We could not fathom that we were capable of giving at that level of financial commitment, and that we were absolutely living in lack and limitation consciousness. We viewed tithing as a luxury we simply couldn't afford at that moment in time within an already tight budget.
So the way we moved from fear to practicing was to start taking classes. So we started with foundations and spiritual practices and financial freedom. And it was in those classes that I realized and finally understood is how you do money is how you do everything.
Yes.
And so we really looked at the ways we were clenching and gripping and scared to death. And so that provided the beginning steps of a shift in consciousness to practice giving without fear.
So it's been a faith walk for us. It's been a walk of determination, of absolute commitment and consistency. That has shifted our individual and our collective consciousness to a place from knowing this at an intellectual level to a place of embodiment and living from these powerful principles. And it is from that place that we've seen our lives transformed. We saw the mountain of debt that we thought was insurmountable paid off in what was relatively a short amount of time. We started living from that place of what it means to be in financial freedom. And we started, one of our lifelong dreams was to travel the world. And we have been all over the world in this precious few years that we started this practice. So it's that shift from the imagining to the living your dreams that we're inviting you into.
So as we have continued on the journey, the fruits for us, as Sherry so beautifully described, have been phenomenal. And for also the newcomers that we teach, the students in our classes, the people who walk through the doors for the first time, to those of us who have been on this journey for a while. But mostly, we continue the journey because we want these teachings to be available for our children's grandchildren, for those who have yet to find us.
Yes.
The truth is, we need you. You need us. Mm-hmm. The truth is, we're giving from source because it matters. We're living in a time on this planet where it's absolutely critical that our teachings move out beyond the walls of CSL Dallas. We know this is possible because we are part of this community just as you are. And so we invite you to continue on the journey with us for all the days to come, the years to come, the generations to come, because you matter and we matter together.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
I stand in the silence, deafened by the echoes of the truth that flow from this knowing, a collection of the evidence and proof to trust in creation as itself through me aligns. To know that my wanting more is selfishly divine. I am seeking my good, and my good is my God. I am seeking my good, and my good is my God. I am. Church or a temple, on the ocean or a mountain kissed with snow, so many paths to God, for you are the only place to go, a being with no circumference, whose center is everywhere, for us only to receive the gifts it's longing to share. I am seeking my good, and my good is my God. I am seeking my good, and my good is my God. I am diving from the cliffs of circumstance to swim in your great abundance. I will not fight the current, but be carried into joy. I know I am seeking my good, and my good is my God. I am seeking my good, and my good is my God. I am seeking my good, and my good is my God. It's what's leading me, pushing me, urging me on. I am seeking my source, and my God is my source. It's my joy and my voice and my life-giving force. I am seeking my God. I am seeking my God. I am seeking my good, and my good is my God. It's what's leading me, pushing me, urging me on. I am seeking my good, and my good is my God. I am.
We are so blessed to have Reverend Dr. Kathianne Lewis as our guest speaker today. She has been the senior minister at Center for Spiritual Living Seattle for over 30 years. What Dr. Peter and I both know about Dr. Kathianne is she She teaches, she practices, and she is all about living a prosperous life. She has ensured that her community prospers and thrives in Seattle. She is like a no-nonsense person when it comes to putting the spiritual principles of prosperity into our life. And I know that this message is truly going to serve every single one of us. So we are delighted to have her, and we're grateful that she is doing a workshop after our Sunday celebration at 1 p.m. Central Time live. Dr. Kathianne Lewis.
Hello, Dallas. It is so wonderful to be with you, and I feel so privileged and honored to be able to speak, sort of, kind of, at a church that has been so blessed by two friends of mine, both Reverend Dr. Petra and Reverend Karen. So thank you so much for asking me into your, I would say your sanctuary, but really into your homes, because I know that this is a weird time that we're in. So thank you for inviting me into your home. I'm Kathianne Lewis, and I'm from Seattle, and I have been at this particular church for 31 years. And I've been a minister for 36, I guess. And I graduated with Reverend Petra when we were both became reverends. And I'm honored to talk to you a little bit about my idea of abundance and how we can prove that and use that and be that in our life. It's been a focus for me. It's been a focus of study. And I think the reason that it's been such a focus of study is because I started out so very, very, very poor. I started out in the Eugene, Springfield area of Oregon, and like a lot of mill towns, my family lived from paycheck to paycheck. And I could always tell, although I didn't know it at the time, but now looking back, I knew we were getting to the end of the paycheck when what we had for 4 nights or 5 nights was beans. But I'm grateful that I was given a solid foundation somehow in some lifetime that said that I could be the creator of my own experience. And so when I came into this particular type of teaching, back then it was called religious science, when I came into this teaching, I glommed onto it and I used it and I allowed it to enrich my life. Well, I want to say that I've read almost every prosperity book, and I'm going to just give a plug now to one that I found in my library. I don't know where it came from or how I got it, but it's called Putting the Prosperity Idea to Work. And it helps me. And the reason that it helps me so much is because it starts where I think I now have come to believe we must all start. Not in making affirmations, not in creating a vision map or a treasure map, and not into getting out of debt, all those, that is all really, really good. This starts, it asks us to start with A. In fact, it goes A through Z, and we start with A, and A is not for Apple, A is for the absolute. I encourage people to start with their attention on the absolute. And the absolute, I'll give you definitions just in case you are interested in what I'm talking about when I say the absolute. It's defined in philosophy as the ultimate transcendent basis for thought and being. It transcends everything, and it transcends it so far that it is independent and unrelated to everything. That sounds far out. It's also an adjective. It also can be defined as perfect, complete, unlimited, not conditioned by anything else. I love that as an adjective. It is perfect, complete, and limited, not conditioned by anything else. Doesn't that sound a lot like how we would describe the infinite presence? The thing itself. Principle beyond precedence. I've also like to just say that in this particular book, it says that the most direct approach to a prosperous life is through the absolute. That's a lot like Jesus saying, seek ye first the kingdom of God, or our contact with the absolute, and all else should be added. When I was physically unwell, and I've had some issues twice, what I sought was that which was beyond physical manifestation, so that I could draw from it its perfection, its completeness, and its unconditionedness, not conditioned by my physical experience. When my relationships haven't gone well, then I have sought the absolute, because there is something about the absolute that's not conditioned by how people talk, how people act, what they have believed in the past. And somehow touching that which isn't conditioned by conditions, love starts to show up in my experience. And when I have been financially hesitant to act, to believe, to consider, then I've made it a point to touch the absolute and allow its thoughts to inform my thoughts, so that I can be more accepting of abundance. Now, I'm going to do a workshop later, and part of what I want to do in that workshop is to give the reasons why we don't easily touch the absolute, and this actually comes from the teachings of Ernest Holmes. And then I also want to share with you an experience of touching the absolute, so that you'll have a felt experience of what it's like to be in the presence of something that's not conditioned by conditions, and that you can experience yourself as not conditioned by conditions. But that takes more than the 15 to 20 minutes that I've got right now. So I want to just share with you some things out of this book, because it's really great. And so I'll go through A. I've already done A, it's the absolute, and I'll go through B and see how far we can go. So let's just end with A, and I would love for you to say, I am my own good fortune. See, if it's absolute and it's not conditioned, then I can be my own good fortune. And I myself am abundance. I'm not abundant, I am abundance. Why? Because I am being conditioned by the absolute, not conditions. So those are wonderful affirmations to say, so that we can get ourselves in the vibration of the absolute. But then let's go to B. B is about business. And it's God's business to support and sustain its creation, to bring about order, harmony, beauty, and bring all of that into manifestation. The first law of the universe, according to Judge Thomas Troward, I bet you love this, Petra, is order. And God brings order into creation, and out of order comes harmony and beauty and plenty for all. And when we dial into that frequency, when we allow ourselves to be about God's business, Jesus said, I'm about my Father's business. Remember? We find that what we want to do is do well by helping others do well, because that brings harmony into the world. It's not about taking or pulling one over on someone, or doing the least that we possibly can to get the most that we possibly can. Instead, we're about our Father, Mother, God's business, and that business is to bring order, harmony, and beauty into the world, and we do that through the business that we're in. So we add order and harmony and beauty, a sense of rightness, to being a clerk or a CEO, when we're about our Father, Mother, God's business. Let's go to C. C's for compensation. The laborer is worth his hire. That comes from the Bible. And we must be willing to receive for what we have given. We must be willing to receive for what we've been given. even if it's not from the direct place that we gave to. So I may be giving here. Volunteers give a lot, and they may not receive something for what they have given out in their volunteer responsibilities. But since the universe is about order, harmony, and balance, it would be out of balance if I just gave, and never received. So we have to be willing to be a giver and a receiver. That's healthy. And it keeps the universe in balance. It is just as much part of our responsibility as human beings bringing spirit to earth or spiritual ideas to earth. It's just as much of our responsibility to give, to support, as it is to receive and be supported. Practice seeing more come to you. Maybe it'll come through your place of employment. Maybe it'll come from your investments, but it's really none of your business. It is the universe's business to support you as you have supported creation, however you do it, whether it's through your job, volunteering, being a good parent, being a good daughter, however you're doing it, you deserve to be supported. And that can be a little hard for spiritual people because we think that we need to just do it and not want anything back. Well, don't want it back from the person or the place that you give it, but want it back from the universe because it keeps things in balance. It's a principle. So there's a visualization I sometimes encourage people to use, which is to imagine themselves as a beautiful lake. And that lake is fresh and clean, and it's filled with abundance of life, fish and flora and fauna. And there are streams coming into that lake. And all of those streams come off of great mountains. And those mountains are representative of high ideas. And just imagine that your high ideas are feeding into you and keeping you healthy so that you can support more life on earth. Be receptive. D. D is for desire. So we're going to get up to D today. A, B, C, D. D. D is for desire. It's good to have some. To listen to your heart and know what your heart desires. I've actually kind of been addicted to, I think it's Lucifer. Isn't it Lucifer, the one on Netflix? I kind of really like him because he's such a handsome devil. And he's always saying, and what you truly desire. Well, really, your heart is always telling you what it truly desires. We just need to listen. We need to know that it's okay to listen to our heart, not our head, because our head might be trying to impress other people. Our head may be trying to just get out of an issue and move on. And the heart will always lead us forward. So it is okay to desire. Desire. Then be persistent with that desire. Continue to hold it in mind, to give it attention, and be insistent through your prayers and your affirmations and the way you speak. And then imagine, see yourself there. See yourself as already done. As Judge Thomas Troyer said, and I know you know this because you're Dallas and you are Petra's students. I know you know this, that in the end is the means. And some of your fellow Center for Spiritual Living students don't understand that. Some actually think that they have to figure out the means and then they will claim the end result. Then they'll finally allow themselves to hope and wish for more. And so if people will pray for more money, thinking that then if they had more money, then they could go ahead and listen to their heart and put it in the place that they want it to happen. But money follows desire. So it's okay to desire, to listen to your heart. And then the rest of D is, what I want to say is about discouragement. Don't be. Some things unfold easily and some things take time. But when you are resting in the absolute, time stands still. And it can take time. But you're still content. because it is only the presence and power of God that can make us truly satisfied and fulfilled forever and ever. Amen. And the rest is just how we live that amen out on earth, so that we are blessed and we are a benefit to everyone else. I hope I get to actually see you in a Zoom call this afternoon. And we're going to look at a practice and practice together, touching the absolute and letting it inform us, become form in us, so that we can inform our world. I hope I see you. Bye for now.
Thank you, Dr. Kathianne. That was such a rich message, and this is the time where we get to give to our community. We get to give of our prosperity to every single person in the local Dallas area and beyond. So this is a time where we ask you to give and give generously. Get your prosperity on and open up the flow. So you can do this by going to CSLDallas.org and hit donate now. You can text give. That text number is on the screen or there in the chat room. You can also donate on Facebook right here and right now. Every gift that you give through the givingness of the through point of your life really, truly matters to this community. Thank you so much.
So don't forget, Reverend Kathianne Lewis has this fabulous, fabulous workshop today at 1 o'clock. Money, Mysticism, and Miracles in the Modern Age. Go to CSLDallas.org and sign up for it right now. You do not want to miss this workshop. We also want to remind you that, that this Thursday, October 15th, our Meditation is More Than You Think class starts. It's an opportunity for you to go deeper into meditation, to open the portals for divine inspiration, to let go and allow Spirit to lead. So if you are ready to kickstart your meditation practice, or you just want to get a little juice to get it going again, please sign up. Meditation is More Than You Think with Carol Merlot. And finally, in November, basically next month, November 10th, Reverend Karen, by popular demand, is bringing back her teachings of Jesus, metaphysical teachings of Jesus. Explore the Beatitudes, the loaves and fishes miracle, especially Jesus' prosperity teachings, and really go deeper into this. So sign up. You must register. It's $30. And go out to CSLDallas.org, and you find out about all of our events and everything that's going on, and you can register there. And so now, we want to remind you that we have the practitioners coming up right after this. They're there to do one-on-one prayer for you. Jump over into their Zoom room. They'll send you off in a breakout room for private prayer, private opportunity for spiritual coaching. And let's sing it out. Love be with you.
Together, hand in hand, we see the light, we take a stand, and we are changing a whole new life for you and me. Take your past and set it free, and share this blessing. Love be with you, peace enfold you.